Thanks to Nebula for sponsoring this video. When it comes to watching TV shows and movies, I've always wanted the best setup I can get, but there's a few requirements that I need that are pretty hard to find. I want the image, of course, to look great. I want the size to be as big as it can get. And I also want it to have all the features that a modern TV have. And that is where these projectors from Nebula come in. These are two different options for kind of different scenarios, but they are packing a very similar punch. This is the Cosmos Laser 4K, and this is the Capsule 3 laser. Not only that, it's the Transformers edition, which is their special edition that Nebula is offering. And at first I was a little confused why Transformers and Nebula were doing a little bit of a mashup here, but it actually makes sense because when you look at the Capsule 3, there's more than meets the eye. That was cheesy, but hey, it's true. Now, both of these achieve the goal of getting a big, bright screen, but they both focus on different areas to get you there. The Cosmos 4K is much more focused on quality. This is kind of the highest quality you can get, whereas the Capsule is more focused on portability, although they both kind of share similar features across the board. Now, I think for me, at least what I'm looking for right now, the Capsule 3 is where it's at. I've talked about this a lot on the channel, but we're kind of out and about as much as we can be, or at least hopefully once it warms up here and stops snowing, we will be. Me and my wife are out and about a lot. We go camping, we go on, like day picnics, all that kind of stuff. And one of the things we love doing, especially when it gets late and we kind of run out of things to do, is just watch a movie, relax, wind down. But we've been relegated to either doing that on our phone or an iPad, which, it's fine, but it's certainly not the best experience, especially when you're out on the go. But the Capsule 3 kind of fixes all of that because this is the most portable projector I've ever used. And really the thing that gives it away that this is a portable projector is just the sheer size, or I guess a lack of size. It's very small. It's a 3.5 by 6.5 inch cylinder, which in itself is just really small. But even at this size, it has everything you need packed in, and it can give you a 40 to 120 inch image, just depending on how far you have it away from whatever you're pointing it at. Now, what really makes this possible is the light source that it's using, and it's using lasers instead of a traditional LED. And Nebula is really the first company to put this technology into a product that looks like this. And that's one of the things that have always struggled with other types of projectors, the one that use typical bulbs, is that the light isn't all that bright, so you get a kind of dim image, especially when you get to these smaller projectors. And there's really three main benefits that this laser light source give you, but it really affects the actual usage. And it's a higher brightness, better colors, and less power consumption. Now, like I said, brightness is one of the things that matters most with projectors because it's the thing that always struggles, especially comparing to a normal TV. You don't have a backlight that's projecting light to you. Instead, the projector is reflecting light, so it's just always going to be dimmer. But because this is using lasers instead of LEDs, it just has more power behind it. In fact, if you compare this to an LED light source that's using the same amount of power, this is 1.8 times brighter in the same amount of power usage. So, it's a quantifiable way to measure it. And the way they describe why this is happening is that, simply it's a laser light source, which means the light is coherent, which means it's all going in one direction instead of just being scattered like from a typical light bulb. So if you've ever used like a laser pointer and you can see the beam, that's kind of what the projector is doing itself. It's just, projecting an image instead of just the light. And all that also applies to having better color, better contrast, because the light is just more accurate. So whatever it's displaying is just going to work better. But I think one of the best benefits, or at least for my use case, the best benefit is the less power consumption because this has a battery built in. And that means you can use this anywhere without needing to plug in. So inside there is a 14,500 milliamp hour battery, and that lets you watch for up to 2.5 hours without being plugged into anything. And that's plenty to watch a few episodes of a TV show or a movie. And for someone like me who's going to be using this off grid where I'm not going to be able to plug in, well, this is great. I mean, I always bring a big battery backup with me, but if I don't have to use it, well, that's even better because I can use it for other things and I could still watch my movies. Now, talking about brightness and color is all well and good, but how does it actually look? Well, the image I think looks great, especially for the size when you really consider that. It's a 1080p image, and if you keep it within, that 40 to 120 inch size, it looks great. And it's plenty bright, especially if you're watching at night or in a darkened room. It works surprisingly well. I'm always a little skeptical when it comes to these small projectors, but this one, it actually does what's advertised. So the image on the Capsule is great, but that isn't the only thing you need to enjoy movies. You also need sound. Well, inside it has an 8-watt Dolby Digital Plus speaker built in, and well, it's not gonna blow your socks off. It's not like it's gonna be the best speaker experience. If you're on the go or don't have any other speakers to plug into it, it's more than enough, and it's gonna let you enjoy the content that you're watching. Now, even though for me, this is going to be my camp projector, I've already dedicated a space for it in the rig so I can always take it with me. That is not how you have to use this. You can use this in any other location as well. Whether you want to have a movie night in the backyard with your kids or take it over to your friend's house so you can have just a bigger screen to enjoy. The fact that it's portable means you can take it with you anywhere and just enjoy your content in the best way possible. Now, if portability isn't exactly what you're looking for and you more so just want the best image quality possible, well, that's where the Cosmos Laser 4K comes in. And as you can tell, this is significantly bigger than the Capsule 3, although it is still portable. It doesn't have a battery built in, but you are meant to be able to take it around and set it up very quickly. One thing that both the Capsule and the Cosmos have is auto keystone and autofocus adjustment. And what this means is that wherever you set it down to project the image, if it's not perfectly straight and it maybe is a little crooked on the wall, it can detect that and automatically fix it so you don't have to adjust the projector itself. It just does it all with software. It shoots this kind of QR grid looking thing on the wall, measures everything, auto focuses, auto keystones, and it's quick. It takes like 2 seconds and it works perfectly. And because these are meant to be portable, it just makes setup so much easier. You don't have to like mess with anything. You just set it down, turn it on, and it's good to go. But the Cosmos is really the projector you want if you are looking to make your like home theater setup. And I think the big debate between projectors and TVs is which one is worth getting, because you technically get a better image with a TV, but you get a much smaller size for the money. Whereas with a projector, maybe the image isn't quite as good, but you get a huge screen, which you just can't get any other way. But because of the features built into the Cosmos Laser 4K, you are getting a pretty great image out of it, even if it's still a projector. And a big reason for that is because it's using lasers just like the Capsule is. The only real difference between these two projectors is really the amount of light. So because it's so much bigger, you get more light coming out of it. You have 18,400 ANSI lumens, whereas the Capsule only has 300. So there's a pretty big difference there. And the image goes up to 4K over the 1080p of these smaller projectors. So for the size, you are certainly getting more image quality out of it. And really, this is in replacement of a TV. So you wouldn't be buying a TV set, you'd be buying the projector instead. But the benefit is you get a great image that can go up to 150 inches instead of spending multiple thousands of dollars on, realistically up to like 80 inches. And that's a lot of money to get to that size. So you can get a much bigger image with really good quality for a much cheaper price. Now, much like the Capsule, this also has speakers built in. So if you wanted to, you can have this be your all-in-one setup as well. Although it has HDMI with HDMI ARC built in, so you can plug in speakers like a surround sound system or something, and that should work. And this is running Android TV, so you don't even need to plug in a set-top box if you don't want to. All the apps you need, including Netflix, which is always a question with some of these projectors, is built in so you can get watching, and if it is portable, you don't need to worry about bringing anything else with you. And this all applies to the Capsule as well. So yeah, whether you're looking for the best quality or the most portability, Nebula is offering some of the best options right now in the projector space with both the Capsule 3 and the Cosmos Laser 4K. Like I mentioned, the Transformers version of the Capsule 3 is a limited edition, so for the month of April when this video is going live, you can go pick one up for yourself. There is $120 off if you use the link down in the description, so go check that out. And the Transformers edition is a limited run, so if you can't grab one, be sure to check out the regular version. That also has $120 off, so great deals across the board. But if you want the Cosmos projector instead, there's also a great deal there. If you use the code Cosmos Laser at checkout, you get $100 off, but it's already on sale for $300 off, so you're getting $400 off. An awesome deal. But yeah, if you're looking to up your TV show and movie watching experience, whether you're at home or on the go, check these out, and I don't think you'll be disappointed.